गुणवत्ता लाएं, जीवन को बेहतर बनाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। मनोदर्पण के काउंसलर से परामर्श पाने के लिए डायल करें टोल फ्री नंबर 844-844-0632। नंबर एक बार फिर सुने 844-844-0632।
Namaskar, I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive session Sahyog. Sahyog sessions are held under the beautiful initiative of Ministry of Education as a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan for providing psychosocial support to parents, teachers, students across the country. The topic that we have taken up today is extremely relevant as always. This is dealing with academic stress. This stress is not so uncommon among students. We have stress when it comes to performing an examinations and delivering the result. We have the pressure from parents, relatives, peers, friends, and you can count them. So, how we can deal with academic stress and focus on our studies? How can we enjoy our studies and how can we have a great time while learning? Let's make it a wonderful session. So, please participate because this is something that concerns us all. Our phone number is 8800440559. That's our eVidya number. In case you wish to talk to our counselor, then we have a national tele helpline number for you, and that is 844-844-0632. You are also watching us live on our YouTube channel NCERT Official, which means you can always go to the live chat box and put in your questions there. We need your suggestions and feedback also. We also have a dedicated email ID for you, and that is sahyog.ncert@ciet.nic.in. Now, it is very important to talk in detail about this beautiful concept that we have taken up today, and for that we have our experts with us. We are joined by Miss Aparna Kumari. Ma'am is a practicing counselor. Ma'am, namaskar and welcome to the session.
Namaste ma'am, good evening. Thank you.
Good evening. We are also joined by Professor Elizabeth Gangmei. Ma'am is professor from NCERT Shillong. Ma'am, namaskar and welcome to the session.
Good evening, yes.
And now, it's time for me to take the session forward. And I just have this very simple question, since we're going to talk about dealing with academic stress. So, Aparna ma'am, let's start from you. Let's try to understand what do we mean by academic stress, what is it, and what can be some of the signs of academic stress that we can identify in students?
Thank you for the question.
Yeah.
So, to understand academic stress, first of all, we have to understand these two terms. What is academic and what is stress?
Yes.
So, academic is something that is related to the work in schools, colleges and universities. That means anything that is related to educational institutes or learning, that is academic. And stress is body's natural reaction to the challenging situation. It is positive as well as negative. If it is positive, it leads our way to complete our task. But if it's negative, it hampers our studies as well as our mental well-being. So, adding these two terms together, academic stress is something that the pressure that comes along with pursuing a degree and one's education. That means learning and educational institute. So, it is a depleted psychological state resulting from continuous social and self-imposed pressure related to learning. What happens when we are in studies? There are social pressures also, and we pose ourselves with so much pressure of getting marks, of achieving the ranks. So these things create academic stress. Now, to talk about the signs of academic stress, there can be several signs like behavioral, cognitive, and we will go like that. So behavioral signs can be procrastination. What we do is leave our work for tomorrow, and leaving the work for tomorrow increases our stress more because the works are getting piled up every day.
Yes.
Second behavioral sign can be neglecting our academic work. So when we see these things in among the students, we can say that they are having some academic stress. Next thing is cognitive science, that is forgetfulness and difficulty concentrating. If we see in the classrooms also, there might be some students who feel difficulty while dealing with some concept, while the teacher is teaching something or discussing something, they feel difficulty in getting concentrating on that concept. There might be social and emotional signs also, that is anger and withdrawal. So they might get angry on little things.
Yeah.
And withdrawal is withdrawal from the peers, withdrawal from the social activities, everything. They withdraw themselves and they do not include themselves in the works. They might feel anxious all the time. They might have the feeling of guilt of not completing something or not achieving up to the mark that the parents have said, or that they only have set for themselves for the examination or for the test. Other than that, there might be sadness and hopelessness, that I will not do anything or I cannot do anything. They become hopeless some of the times. Next, some of the physical signs can be headaches, chest pains, or shortness of breath when they are experiencing this academic stress. Next thing, the changes, bodily changes that the parents can see are changes in appetite and the sleep pattern. This might include the minimal sleeping pattern or maximum sleeping pattern, sleeping all the time or sleeping for the less time, and same for appetite also, eating less or eating more and more. These signs can be, if we see these signs in among the students, we can say that they are facing academic stress.
Right, ma'am. So we have learned how academic stress is caused, and we have also identified some signs. See how unfortunate it is that due to some kind of psychological pressure, we are getting symptoms in our body, not so good symptoms. We're losing our appetite, we're losing our sleep. And also, at such a tender age, when it's time to actually enjoy and live the life and be very interested in studies and academics, we are facing this unnecessary trauma. And that is leading us towards something even more grave, and that we can call depression, anxiety, panic attacks and whatnot. So, Professor Elizabeth, I want to ask you that what are the factors that are causing such, huge academic stress to our students?
Thank you so much for the question. My co-panelist, Aparna, has very nicely explained about what is academic and what is stress.
Right.
So she has also mentioned about the sign and symptom of how do we identify stress. So having said that, I also want to also add that when we say stress, it has more of a negative connection. But what we need to know is that when we say stress, there are good stress and bad stress. So there are also good stress. So teachers or anybody who deal with the students have to also know that there are certain kind of stress that we need to have also, that that I have to accomplish this one, I have to read this one, I have to do my duty, I'm responsible for that. So there are also good stress that we have to know. So when we say stress, it is very, very important that we know what is the cause, so that we can identify, we can orient our student, or also we can deal with a counselor or a teachers or a parents can deal with this academic stress that hamper the progress of the students. So when we say academic stress, already Aparna has said it is a tension, anxiety caused by a pressure of schools, pressure from schools or family or society or a learning process. So when students are pressurized, when students are when they are tense or anxious about their studies, when they are not feeling that feeling comfortable, I should say, that what they are learning or what they are doing in their progress, if they are not aware, so when there is a gap between when they learn and who they are as a as a person, that also give academic stress. So having said that, what you have asked me, what are the root
Factors,
causes,
yeah.
what are the main reason or the factors of academic stress, we can see from this slide also, one of the main reason is a parental expectation. See, every parents, in anyone, parents have hope, aspiration, and expectation from their children. That is very, very natural. But see, when we say expectation, you see societal expectation. Aparna has mentioned about how exam, how like marks, getting marks, percentage. So there are societal expectation which appearance are also very much influenced by that. So this parental expectation, we have to know that this is related to the emotional self efficacy or self expectation of the students. So when we say parental expectation, when the parental expectation is inflated by excessively high level, so that it leads to over controlling or over involvement of the parents on the students or on their child. So we, you see, though we are, we are parents. Parents, one good thing for the children, but when they are over control, over possessive, or over control, over indulgent, over involved in their child, then obviously the student will feel stifled. The student will not be able to express their feeling. The true nature will not be able to will not come out. So sometimes we have to understand what is mean by education, what is mean by the ultimate objective of education. We have to understand. So Swami Vivekananda say that education is a manifestation of the inherent potentiality. In order for the child to manifest their hidden talent or inherent capability, we have to give them some freedom also. We have to scaffold our children so that they will be able to learn on their own, do things independently, solve their problem by themselves. So over controlling, comparing our child with others, over involvement, over protection, these relate to negative impact on the students or on the children. So this kind of induced parental influence, induced parental involvement, it makes the parents to decide in favor of their child, instead of the child deciding what should I do, what should I do. Instead of that, the parents are deciding in favor of the child. So that is harmful for the child to to grow as a person, as an individual. That impact their personality growth, that impact their self-esteem, that impact their self-efficacy. So likewise, even grades. See, grades, we say how much, we come out from an examination, we say that how much you score, what is our percentage. We should not, we should not validate a person with the marks or the percentage. But very sad thing is that we see people, we judge people based on the grades that they get, which is very harmful for the children's, because every child is unique, every child is an achiever. We cannot say you are scoring 90%, you are less, important than the other child. So it's not like that. Grades should not be seen as, as a yardstick for judging a child. But what happened is that in our society, in our schools, grade is seen to be the important scale for measuring a child worth.
Yeah.
So that thing we have to come out from it. Likewise, parental attitude, procrastination, exam phobia. These are all related to the factors which lead to academic stress. Procrastination, already Aparna has explained that. So academic stress is one of the reasons for procrastination. When a child has procrastination, they have academic stress. At the same time, also, if you have academic stress, you will procrastinate, because you will keep your things, what you can do for today, you will keep for tomorrow. You'll be, you are in fear of touching, in fear of, paying attention to your study. So you will keep on pending your work. You will not do your work. So that procrastination is something which is very much related to your academic stress. So one should see that, my child, my students are not procrastinating. So this is also something related to prioritizing your work, time scheduling, things, having a time management, okay, prioritizing your activities in school. So all these are very, very important, which is leading to academic stress. Exam phobia is also one of them. Many a time, we are so much afraid of exam because we are afraid of people judging us through the marks that we score in exam. So after examination, we forget what we are learning. Actually, what we learn should be related to our daily life. It
Yeah.
should be related to who we are as a person. But here, what happened is that in examination, we learn something, we memorize something, we go to exam hall, and we try to score as much as possible so that we get a good marks for good college or good university. Then we do not relate to our daily life. So we are so much in fear of getting or not getting marks, that this exam phobia is also one of them. So career is also likewise is very important in one's life. So one should have the thinking or the feeling and the understanding of dignity of labor. So every job according to the capability of the child is important. You may be good in some area, the other person also will be good in some area. So one should have that kind of clear understanding. So lack of preparation, addiction of social media, these are things which can hamper your academic focus, especially social media. We all know that nowadays children are addicted to social networking site where they compare each other. It's a very fictitious platform. People do not show their real the real image. So it's very harmful in that way, that you will not know how much is enough when it comes to social media. So one should, teachers or as a students, as a parents, one should be aware of such kind of prioritizing, time management, self-discipline. All these are related to our academic stress. So I think these are some of the important, there are many important points, but these are some of the main causes of the academic stress.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for elaborating on these main points. And you absolutely correctly said that some kind of pressure is good because it helps you in delivering better results, but excess of everything is bad. And here we are dealing with so many factors. But it's important, equally important, to overcome them and to be at ease. So, Aparna ma'am, I want to ask you how we can deal with academic stress.
Thank you, ma'am. So there are some of the ways to deal with academic stress. So first of all is practicing self-care. In practicing self-care, getting enough sleep is very much important. So if we do not sleep, we get academic stress. And if we get academic stress also, we start ignoring our sleep. It actually happens during the exams when we ignore our sleep as well as ignore our food, and we study and study. So self care is very much important. So getting enough sleep, eating well, and exercising regularly to have a good health as well as good mental being is very much important. Second is taking breaks. As we are already discussing time and again that the students are in the time when they have to learn something by engaging themselves, or we have to what we can say, enjoy our learning. So in between our learnings, in between our studies, we have to make time for the activities that we really enjoy.
Yeah.
Some might enjoy singing or dancing or painting. Whatever you can do, you can take breaks in between the studies. Next is setting realistic goals. Okay, so what happens? We take a larger goal that I will accomplish this goal today only. And when that will not be done at the end of the day, we get frustrated that I am good for nothing. I have not done this. So according to yourself, what you can do, break down that goal in smaller and manageable tasks. That is achievable tasks. Means if there is a chapter, instead of taking the chapter as a goal, take small units as a goal, and that will be more effective, and it will give a sense of fulfillment actually. That okay, I have done this unit and now we can move towards another unit. Next is managing our time. As ma'am was saying that time management is very much important. So to manage our time, we can do two things. Firstly, creating our schedule. in that schedule, we have to give some time for the studies, we have to give some time for our co-curricular activities and play time. So we have to create a schedule including everything.
Yeah.
And secondly, we have to make a list of tasks that we have to do. So during making that task, we have to put the first one, the most prioritized task. So you can go like the decreasing importance of the task or decreasing importance of the work, and stay organized. You will be stay organized when you will manage your time. So if there will be difficulty managing your time, then the stress will increase. Ki, oh, I have not done this. I wanted to complete this task, but this for example, if we are doing maths and we have to do science also, and maths took so much of time, or if we are using our social media platform and we have to complete our homework, so okay, in our time, in our task, we have not given the time, we have given the time, but we are not utilizing it properly.
Yeah.
So it will create a frustration, or
Yes.
it will also increase our stress. So if when we get stressed, there are some relaxation techniques that we can practice. That is like breathing techniques, deep breathing techniques, meditation, or yoga. Next is what we do whenever we feel stressed or whenever we have something in our mind. We isolate ourselves from everybody, from the society, from our peers, from our teacher. We do not share anything. So, first of all, learn to seek support. That is not bad. If you are having something negative in your mind, if you are having anything in your mind, talk to the teachers or any elder, parents, or school counselors about your concern. Whatever you are thinking, whatever you are going through, talk to the people who are elder to you. So, in isolation, we get negative thoughts, and that will ultimately hamper our studies, and that will ultimately increase our stress. So, to manage that, we have to talk, we have to clear up our mind. Next is practicing self-talk. Self-talk means positive self-talk. If we have done anything, okay, we do not have to cling to that past. Forgive yourself and focus on what you can control, and what you can control is present.
Yes.
So you can do the works at the present time, forget about your past, forgive yourself, and talk to yourself like, okay, I can do this and I will do this. Next is learning new skills. What happens? There is a fixed schedule of everyone, right? So doing everything simultaneously creates boredom. So we have to practice new skills for our entertainment also, and for our learning also. And next is the most important thing, that is taking responsibility for mistakes. What happens? There is a term blame game. So what we do is blaming everyone else other than us for the mistakes. So take the responsibility for your mistakes and learn from those mistakes. So
Right.
these can be some of the ways to deal with the academic stress.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now we're left with very little time. So, Professor Elizabeth, I request you to kindly wrap up your answer in 2 minutes. And question for the same is that how parents and stakeholders can deal with academic stress.
Okay. With these 2 minutes, let me try to wind it up.
Sure.
For winding up, I would like to read out from NEP 2020. It says that the purpose of education system is to develop a good human beings,
Yeah.
capable of rational thoughts and action, possessing empathy, courage, and compassion. I think that should be the objective and the aims that we must have when we are nurturing our students, instead of a mad race for marks or grades or percentage. So in that way, NEP 2020 has very rightly spelled out what should be our shift now, what should be the way we
Yeah.
have to nurture our children. And accordingly, NCERT has come out with a National Curriculum Framework School Education, National Curriculum Framework Foundational Stage, and also many related materials which are very, very, holistic in natures. So here, role of parents and stakeholder is that our children has to be, first of all, be a good human being. So for that, we need to have a very, a good conversation, good interpersonal relationship, and as much as possible we should try to have a, dialogue conversation with our children or our students, for the teacher also, and never ever compare your children or your students with others, because every child is unique, their fingerprints are all unique, nobody is similar, so we cannot expect uniform result from each one of us. So the hallmark is that every child is a unique achievers. So we should also, as a parents, as a teacher, we should be aware of our children, their psychology, their feelings, their likings, their emotions. I think that will help us to know about our children's, what is their capability, what is their aptitude, and what is their interest. And also we should be very generous with appreciating whatever they have achieved and whatever they have progressed, no matter small it may be, we should, acknowledge and we should appreciate. And I think that is the way how we can bring changes, and that is the way we can deal with this academic stress. Let us not judge people according to what marks they score. Let us judge people according to the goodness, the quality. Let us be holistic. NEP has said 360-degree analysis. We have to have a comprehensive and holistic way of appraisal or assessment of our students. I think that should be the way we look at our children and also nurture and scaffold them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You very rightly said that your most important task is to build a better you. Your aim should not be to be in any kind of rat race, but your ambition should be to become a good human being, a better version of what you were yesterday. That should happen constantly. And with this, it's time for me to wrap up this session of Sahyog, where we talked about dealing with academic stress. And for these useful insights, I would like to thank both my experts, Aparna ma'am and Professor Elizabeth. Thank you so much for your wonderful contribution to the session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So, dear viewers, that was our session Sahyog for today, and this is me, Harpreet Kaur, now winding it up over here. But before I leave, let's take a look at the schedule. Well, these are the programs that you can watch. Obviously, this is something that you'll be watching tomorrow, so please have a look at it. We will start with Yog Shaktiya program, then we'll talk about virtual lab for chemistry. There will be a session in Hindi, and of course, at 2 p.m. we will bring you a session in mathematics titled Fun at Class Party. 2:30 p.m. we will bring you English session, Talking Toys. 3 p.m. a session in Urdu will be there. 3:30 to 4 you can watch a session in Hindi. 4 to 5 will be the time for our online training program in Hindi. That will be day 2. And at 5 we will bring you our session Sahyog. And that's about it. Do participate, do make us calls, and do reach out to us. And this is me, Harpreet Kaur, taking leave of you for the moment. Please stay tuned for more educational programs on our various platforms. Namaskar.
सोच में सकारात्मकता लाएं, जीवन को बेहतर बनाएं।
मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम।
मनोदर्पण के काउंसलर से परामर्श पाने के लिए डायल करें टोल फ्री नंबर 844-844-0632। नंबर एक बार फिर सुने 844-844-0632।